there's so many other things have happened that have completely changed the way I perceive now.
Yeah.
And it makes, when you can, I'm trying to think of the best way to say it. Yeah, when you can become a grain of sand, then you really can open up. It's not about going backwards and trying to understand where you can, because that's a dead garden, right? You can't go back and water the past. What is it going to do for you? You can't fix anything from the past. You can't change anything from the past.
Yeah.
You can't talk to anybody who died. No, it's the past.
Yeah.
But what you can do is create your now reality. And in order to do that, you need to focus on now, don't bring the stuff that you don't want with you.
Yeah.
Leave it where it came from.
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
you see benefits of sharing like some of your unusual experiences in helping like people? Do you find that that helps to expand their understanding of, what we are and, our relationship, in this reality and the greater reality or world?
I think that when people talk about things that have happened to them in those contexts, then it's good. But if you're going to talk about, some trauma or drama or something that happened to you, that is not helpful. In fact, it drags your energy down and you go to lower vibration. And when you do that, it's harder to get out.
Yeah.
Listen, it's hard to get to a higher vibratory state, but when you start doing it all the time, you never want to go backwards. You never want.
Well, I
don't want to tilt.
Yeah, when we have these extraordinary experiences, though, some they can come across as negative, but you can learn certain things from them. I go, wow, like this was a really unusual experience, right? That it opens you up to a greater understanding of the world. But again, it's using the unusual, it's the unusualness of that experience rather than the trauma of the experience that to remember, right?
The thing that happened to you had a trauma to it, but there's nothing to me negative that happened to you.
Yeah, like, I came out of it basically,
so that kind of story, that's good, because then people say, oh, I didn't want to tell anyone, but this sort of happened to me. Great, because that just means the reality that we live in is dimensional, and you've accepted that from experiential understanding, which is what I was trying to tell the other guy. It is an experiential understanding. It's not you just telling me. I'm just telling you, you had it happen to you. So you experienced it. And once you do, that makes your brain fire differently. There's like, whoa, what was that? And it's like, hello, what's that? And now it's waiting there for the next time you're going to fire it off, because it's going to happen again for sure.
Yeah, which it did. So, no, lady, are you still going to stay with us? Because I would like to share one more story and have your comments. Or do you have time?
Yes.
Because I know you're a busy lady. You're a busy lady.
I'm a busy lady. Tomorrow I have work, but I don't have to work until 10 in the morning. So now it's 11:16.
So this one, the first one I called Out of Harm's Way, the one with the car. But this one I call My Bodyguard, and I am working on a website, so I'd like to post some of these, on that website. And this actually happened 11 days before 9/11 in 2001. And I had been at a conference in May 2001, a museum conference in New York.
Sorry, 11 days before 9/11?
Yeah, it was the Labor Day weekend. I went back. I had been there in May for a conference and decided to take my sister to New York on the Labor Day weekend, because she'd always wanted to go and she'd never been, right? So I'll just read a bit of this and then I'll elaborate as I go. So often when a traumatic event happens to us, we may not grasp the full meaning of it until many years have passed. And this was my situation in relation to an incident that happened in September 2001, just several days before the events of 9/11. On the Labor Day weekend, I decided to visit New York City. I had been in Manhattan in May, to attend a conference and decided to go back in September with my sister as she had never been before. We visited the usual attractions, including the World Trade Center and the Metropolitan Museum of Art. So as we were leaving the Met, that's the museum, I was standing at the top of the stairs. It was sunny outside, so I put on my sunglasses and I stepped down. But I remember as I put my sunglasses on, it was almost as someone had rubbed Vaseline on it, right? It was blurry, it was weird. All of a sudden, I started to fall forward. I saw a figure to my right, and I grabbed it as I was falling. I could hear the sound of people gasping as my body went headfirst down the stairs. As I flew downward, I seemed to be riding on the back of a person because I could see a head of curly dark hair. My first thought was that I had pulled my sister down with me. My sister Nancy was with me. Okay. When I got to the next landing, and a lady would know this, with the Metropolitan Museum of Art, like it's a long staircase, right?
Yeah.
So like maybe 8 to 10 steps, then the landing, the next, right? Okay. So when I got to the next landing, I looked up to see my sister rushing down the stairs towards me. She cried out, "Diane, are you all right?" Right? She, like, what happened? I was both shocked and relieved. I sat up on a step and I thought to myself, if she didn't fall down the stairs with me, who did it? Who did, right? Then my sister said something that really stuck in my mind all these years. She said, "It was a good thing you kept your head up, or this could have been worse." I thought to myself, I kept my head up because of this other person that, I was riding on their back, right? So who was the person? For years, I pondered if what I saw was an angel or a loved one that passed away years ago. Then in 2014, I read Robert Monroe's books about his out-of-body experiences. And one of my favorite was his second book, Far Journeys, right? And he's from the Monroe Institute. In them, he writes about how he would leave his physical body and travel in his second body. And he would talk about the third body and all that, but he really talked about the second body that looks very much like our physical body, right? Which is an etheric version of the physical one. So I speculate that as what I saw as I fell down the stairs was my second body. But I didn't recognize it as such because it was the back of my head, right? So how does this fit as an event related to divine intervention? Well, or our topic. Well, we too are divine, multidimensional beings. So our other selves can protect us when the need arrives. So there you go.
Didn't you ask your sister the question? Like, I felt like I'm riding on someone's back. What else did you say? Did you ask her?
No, I didn't ask her that. That would be interesting. Yeah, I never thought to ask that. I just remember her saying you had your head up. She said that you were holding your head up, and I remember that as I was going down, I was holding my head up, right, like this. So
you should ask her.
Yeah.
She might not have told you because you think it was weird. So the answer might be very interesting.
Yeah. Oh, if she saw like a person or someone else.
But whatever she might have seen.
Yeah, you know what?
Put it out there and what it may be. But whatever she says, without you telling her what you think, let her tell you and see what she says.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you that.
I think I saw a shadow that's kind of weird. Okay. But you don't have to say anything else. But yeah,
it's like interesting. You said that the shadow, because just from the corner of my eye, when I went to grab something, it was like this dark
shadow
thing, this dark figure. Yeah, very much a shadow. Yeah.
So this is the ethers. This is what I call the ethers. Yeah. So the ethers are very tangible. They're around you all the time. They're around you right now. And they don't go away. And whenever there's excitement or something going on, they get very thick. And then whatever the job is, they're part of that. So if it means, if they're hearing out, no, she can't get hurt, then they get thicker around you and you'll feel like you're bouncing or whatever. It happened to me in a car. That's when I first met the ethers. I was like 15 or 16. But anyway, now I call them. So if I want the ethers to come and help me do something, I get really happy fast and they show up. So I can laugh for no reason at all. And then the ethers would come because they like it. They like excitement. They like action, but then they also like war because it's action. They don't know the difference because they have no emotion. They're not human. They have no beingness. There's no beings. There's no beings. So vast has loads of ethers, and the ethers have been with you forever. And you've been working with them and you don't even know it. So this might be an experience of it, but shadow is common. The word shadow is common.
Yeah.
And someone says, yeah, I felt like it was a shadow. And I was like,
yeah,
that's the ethers. They're always there. But some people call them guardian angels. Some people call them guides. Yeah. But the ethers are actually really thin. But when they get together, they can be really thick. Okay. And then they look like a shadow. But they don't make a form. Per se.
Yeah, I was going to ask, so are they like just energy swirling and then they can take shape, they take form?
I want you to think of it not as a shape because you're going to make it human. So you can't make them human. That's the big problem with us. We make everything like us. No. Yeah. So the ethers, because that's what we do. The ethers are thin, wispy, thin. Yeah. They go this way, that way, whatever way they want. Yeah. But when it's about you, it wants to get close to you, you'll think it's a human form because they're close to you. So they're thick like you. I know you're seeing human form, but it's not that. It's the form. They're forming, but they're not human. You see what I mean? Like so you cast a shadow, right? When you cast a shadow, you see your form, but it's not exactly your form, but it looks like you, right?
Yeah, because I guess we're conditioned to.
Yes, that's the part of the brain.
A shape out of everything, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But when you cast a shadow, you can walk around. The sun's a certain way. You can cast a really long, skinny shadow, or a really short shadow, or like no shadow. So ethers are like that. They'll form around whatever the action is. Yeah. But they're not people. They're not human. There's nothing human about them. But they can be what you want. Yeah. It's like having something around you that'll do whatever you want. Yeah. But it can be positive or negative depending on you, not them.
Yeah, I was going to say you kind of.
None of them. They're it. They're it. They're not a them. They're an it. Them is a people. No, it's a it. Okay. They're wispy energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they take on whatever state of emotional state. Yeah, emotional.
Yeah,
state.
They like excitement. So either you're really happy or really sad. It doesn't matter. Because they don't have any emotion. They just know something's going on that's interesting and maybe you need me. So they come to help you. Yeah. But they don't discern. You're the one that uses them correctly or incorrectly, or to harm or not harm. Yeah. That's why I always write, choose joy, harm none, and be vast. Harm none. Number one thing, harm none. Don't harm anyone.
Yeah, I think I had to go through that experience. Actually, it broadened me, but also I was very unhappy in where I was working at the time, right? And I was resisting a change in my life. I really need to make a change, and I was resisting it, right? Yeah. So this was kind of, something to kind of break me out of it.
Push you over the edge?
Yeah, push me. Unfortunately, over the edge.
But you did okay. You didn't get
hurt. It was fine. I broke my wrist, and sprained the other one, but that was it. It could have been worse. Right?
Oh, a lot worse.
Yeah.